So we have a plan today, chat. We have a thing. We're gonna be watching a video. We're gonna be commenting on it. I want everyone in chat that's interested to either get a sheet of paper and a pencil or open up Notepad. Especially if you're like an aspiring streamer or somebody that wants to start streaming. Get a notepad, get like a sheet of paper for notes. We're going to class today, or write it on Notepad on your PC. Let me preface. I have been streaming on twitch.tv for around, actually my 3-year anniversary is coming up soon, chat. I started streaming like around March of 2018. And then 6 months afterwards, I got partnered on Twitch. See, this is not the norm. This is a bit of lucky circumstance. I do consider myself kind of lucky as a person in terms of quote unquote streaming success. I feel like I missed a lot of stuff that, you know, that is required for proper growth and know-how and knowledge when it comes to streaming. Here's Ludwig. There he is.
How many people want to be streamers? So it's like most people in this chat like the idea of being a streamer. All right. Every single person who said yes, whether you said it to yourself or you voted, whatever it is, you need to do this right now. Write this down.
All right, everyone, get your pens and get your pencils and papers ready. I'm serious. I'm gonna be doing this myself as well.
This is not a joke. I'm being very serious. I want you to write this down. 3 things. First of all, if you want to be a streamer, when are you going to start? Set a hard start date when you're actually going to start. If you've already started, maybe this is the date that you're going to start your YouTube or start a new series or whatever it is. Just write the date where you're going to start achieving something you've been saying you're going to do. Number 2, write your goals for 1 year out. This can be for the start of 2022, maybe one exact year, maybe a few months. It doesn't really matter. All you need to do is have a set period of time and goals you would like to achieve by the end of that set period of time. Now, look, this is not your end goals. If you want to be the biggest streamer in the world, you don't have to write, I want to be the biggest streamer in the world by 2022. It's not really realistic, but...
Commitment? Look, dude, streaming is a big commitment. Okay, streaming is a big commitment. I'm doing this. I seriously want everybody in the chat that wants to take streaming seriously to do this as well. I'm gonna listen to anybody about streaming. I'm gonna listen to the guy who gets 20,000 viewers on average. My 1 year goal is to 1 year from now. My 1 year goal is to have 120 viewer average. That is my goal for next year. Actually, that's a good point. I should go bigger. 200 average a year from now. 1 year from now, I want to have a 200 viewer average. 3 into 5 creators I want to emulate. Well, can I write? You know what? I want to emulate Ludwig. I want to emulate this. I want to emulate Moon in a way, because I find Moon to be one of the most entertaining streamers on this platform. He's so fun. I don't know. He just rolls with everything that he does. I love watching Moon. Drama 985. 985. I'm not memeing. I kind of want to emulate Drama in some way, shape, or form, but not in a way that's like like completely copying him.
Success isn't based on how big of a streamer you are. It's based off the goals you set and your ability to achieve them in a certain time frame.
Exactly. Okay, so not to get all deep and philosophical and things of that nature, but like I'm not trying to say life doesn't really have meaning, chat. We assign meaning to life, and how we enjoy life is based on us and what our values are, what we find to be important to us, and things of that nature. You don't have to strive to be a big streamer to be quote unquote successful in your own eyes or vision. If you say your goal is to I just want to stream Minecraft every day, and I want to make a small Discord where I upload all my speedruns and I hope people enjoy my speedruns on Discord. And that's okay. That's great. Good for you. That's fantastic. You don't have to be like, oh my god, I'm a failure of a streamer if I don't get 200 viewers in my first 2 months of streaming. It's okay to be small.
At the end of the day, I was able to set goals and then hit them. I hit these goals by the end of 2018. And then I was able to keep going. Part of the reason you do this is because, hey, it's very obvious that streaming's not for everyone. It's also obvious that
this is a statement that not many people talk about, I feel like, as well. And that it's kind of glossed over. Streaming is not for everyone. It is not. Not everybody not everybody has the mindset or the emotional, like the entertainment value or whatever aspect. Not everybody is made to be a streamer, and that's okay. It's not like, oh, I can't be an Olympic runner. I'm a failure. Like, there's just some things that people can and can't do.
it's better to take a shot on something than to never try it and regret that. But how do you know?
That too. A lot of people don't try things. I myself included. I'm getting out of this mindset. I'm too worried that something is going to fail, that it's just not going to work out, and then I end up not trying it. It's better to try and fail than never tried at all. Do that thing that you want to do. Even if you think that people aren't going to like it, just do it. Just try it. If it works out, that's great. You'll feel a lot better about it. If it doesn't work out, hey, it's a learning experience. You could maybe execute it a bit differently next time, or come up with a different idea.
If you write down your goals and you set a time frame to hit the goals in, then at the end of the period, right, at the end of next year, 2022, you can reflect. You can be like, hey, I went 0 for 5. My goal was to hit 100 average viewers, and I'm at 15. Maybe I am not cut out for being a big streamer. And that's an honest conversation you can have with yourself, but only if you do the work now to set goals, to set a time frame, to understand it, rather than just kind of 9 to 5 grind. I just go live. I'm just doing my thing. I've been doing this since 2018. That's all shit. All right. At least set yourself some sort of time frame so you have some sort of growth and progression that you can accurately and objectively look back on.
Oh, that's what I have been doing. I'm trying to break out of this mindset that I can just constantly go live like 4 to 5 days a week, and like that's good enough. And I can just wing everything. And I've learned that I can't do that. That's not a good mindset to have. Especially if your whole like mindset is to, if you want to grow as a streamer, you can't just wing ding it. You have to, I'm learning this myself again. You have to plan things. Ever really thought about this? But I feel like streaming, like being like a big streamer is like, it's like a tournament arc in an anime. There's all these different people and personalities, but they all have these like things that make them stand out and be different.
If you didn't write anything down, but you want to be a streamer, this is the #1 best thing you can do. The absolute only lesson to take away from today if you want to make it big on Twitch. Quit.
Oh. That's kind of harsh, but he's not wrong. If you want to take streaming seriously, but you don't actually take the steps to do it, just quit. It's not for you. And that's it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but you're not going to make it. You can't just be lazy with your content. You can't just be lazy with your channel and just expect people to show up. It works sometimes. It's a rare occasion that it works. Like, there are some people that just turn on stream and then people just show up.
And then there's also the aspect that I'm always on. You know what I mean? Like, I have to have my phone and my Twitter notifications ready in case something big happens.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize how much or how important constantly being in touch is. The less you are like less you're present, the less quote unquote relevant you become. You have like I feel like to be successful in a way, you have to always be on people's minds in some fashion. You have to always appear, even if briefly. You have to always show up somewhere. Social media is very, very important when it comes to growing yourself as a creator, I feel. If you're constantly on somebody's mind, somebody will eventually check you out. You know, if you're showing up and like, if you're everywhere, then someone has to at least check you out. And one of the main things about growing on Twitch is people don't know who the fuck you are. Most of you not growing, like most of your inability to grow is people just not knowing that you exist. And what better way to get people to know that you exist than through social media, where everybody is, or on YouTube. Maybe you don't get a lot of views on a video normally. The algorithm decides to bless you, and your video gets recommended everywhere. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to get a bunch of views on that video, and people are going to check out who the fuck you are because people now know you exist.
Anyone can take advice from the second part. How do you stream? You already figured out that you do want to be a streamer, why you want to be a streamer, what your goals are as a streamer. How do you do it? How do you stream? Well, this is my one advice, my biggest advice. Streams are recordings. That's what it is in 2021. That is the best way you can think about a Twitch stream. Why? Well, let's think about a YouTube video. YouTube videos have some pros that normal streams, conventional streams don't. YouTube videos have built-in growth mechanics, all right? The algorithm. A YouTube video can pop off. A stream can't really pop off, you know? Like, you can go live and I, tomorrow, can buy a first edition booster box from Pokemon that cost me $400,000. And I can go live on a brand new channel and no one will see it. Literally no one. Because there's no way for you to know that that is happening, and nobody is digging through the 5,000 zero viewer Andys, one viewer Andys on the just chatting section. So that's why Twitch fails in that aspect. YouTube doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a lot of, I'll say this point again, a lot of streamer growth and inability to grow is just people not knowing who the fuck you are. That's literally it. And that's why a lot of people need to, and that's what I'm working on. That's why I jump-started my YouTube again. You need to invest in growth mechanisms like YouTube, Twitter, TikTok.
Also, YouTube is permanent. You upload a VOD on YouTube, a video, it stays there. Twitch, it's live, and then the VODs are up for 60 days, and then they get deleted. And let's be real, even if they didn't get deleted, nobody goes through to find VODs. Not really. It doesn't really happen. It's just a fact that VODs are absolutely terrible on Twitch, and I don't see that changing. And so the permanence of a YouTube video means that even if it doesn't do well in the first month, maybe a month or two from now, you'll be able to look back and be like, oh, this video actually did well. You can't really do that with streams. For example, I did a stream the other day. I did the higher lower stream, and it did okay. I had an okay number of viewers on Twitch. I had like 22K. But it didn't do that great. With my YouTube video,
I don't know, like, I'm sorry. Like that, like, the thing is, like, a lot of, like, the stress and, issues of mental health and shit that streamers experience, it's the same shit, but at a different floor. You know what I mean? Like, he's saying, oh, I did okay. I only got 22,000 viewers. Which to me, that's a fuck ton of people. I never had even more than 1,000 viewers before. That's from me getting rated. It's like it hammers into that the saying, don't compare yourself to other people. Everyone's journey on Twitch is different.
Has right now 560,000 views, which is 100,000 above average. The fact that it's permanent on YouTube lets me see that. If I only had Twitch, I would be like, oh, if I play higher or lower on stream, it's only okay content. No, it's better than okay. It's just that people didn't know it was happening or weren't live.
Yes, it could be translated to other video platforms. And this is something that I suffered because I stopped doing YouTube. I stopped doing VR chat. And that was my main content, was VR chat. And my videos did all right. I think one of my videos, I've privated all my VR chat content, by the way, because I don't really want to associate with doing VR chat, my old shit in VR chat content. Like, I think one of my best videos did like 8,000 views. A little strawberry milk. And yeah, and like when I was consistently uploading to YouTube, I think I had like 30 videos. 30 videos. Yeah, they didn't do that well, but I still got people coming in from my YouTube because they showed up in VR chat content. If you want to grow on Twitch, you need to branch out to other platforms because Twitch is terrible for growth. Twitch by itself is terrible for growth. People have a harder time discovering you on Twitch than any other platform.
YouTube can happen overnight. I mean, literally overnight. You can blow up. And you've seen that time and time again. Dream literally was like a 10K Andy on YouTube at the start of 2020. He's doing pretty well. That would not happen if he only streamed. Admittedly, this whole thing was about how to stream, and we've only talked about YouTube videos. That's because it's time to start formatting your streams around your YouTube videos.
And this is what I'm
so
going
you
to
have
work
to
on.
stream for YouTube. Now, when I go live, I'll have segments, and that's how I think of it. I'll have segments for YouTube, and I'll stream those segments, and then I'll have like filler time in between, and then I'll have some things that aren't for YouTube. And that's fine, but you need to have some segments. Very roughly, they work like this. They'll have an introduction to the idea, to what the segment is while you're streaming. I'm going to give you an example of a YouTuber doing this because I think that this is probably the single best YouTuber, and they get a credit for a lot of other things, but they don't get a lot of credit for this.
I don't know about that, Lewis. That's not necessarily true. I feel like the whole grind mentality is detrimental. It will burn you out so quick, and it's generally not a good idea. As someone who had that mentality for the past like year and a half, just throwing yourself at streams is not going to work anymore. Maybe it worked like maybe 5 years ago or so. Sure, it works if you have an already established audience. It doesn't work anymore. You got partner not grinding? Dude, I got partner lucky. I was lucky. I rode a wave. I was fortunate enough to not know what the fuck I was doing. I rode a wave and I got partnered because I just happened to be in the right community, right place, right time. Nowadays, you can't just because you throw yourself at something again and again and again, that's not gonna stick. You have to format and plan your streams. You can't just like, okay, I'm just gonna play this game. The whole let's play thing, it only works if you're already established, and you have to do all this work to even get yourself to be established, to maybe even get to that point. And even then, most of the time, it's like for those people, it's like filler content. While in the background, they're working on more planned stuff. And this is something I'm working on right now. This is why we're calling this the training arc, because I'm taking my content more seriously now.
At introductions, and that's of course Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, I think, is the best YouTuber at doing introductions. And even though we're talking about streaming, I take away, and you also can take away, how to do these intros on Twitch. Let's just take a look at this.
In this video, we are going to be eating $100,000 golden
I
ice
watched
cream,
this video. This is a good video.
This is so good.
$5,000 mac and cheese,
This mac and cheese is magnificent.
$30,000 banana foster,
Ooh, that's incredible.
and so much more, starting off with $100 ice cream and working our way up.
That was
See, that's a good intro because it's a hook. It gets you hooked into the concept, and the idea is like, okay, because it is very hard to keep people's attention nowadays with so much stuff like TikTok and like shorts on YouTube and like Twitter vids. You only have a certain time frame to get people's attention, and if you don't get that attention, people are just not going to care about the video.
19 seconds top to bottom.
And everyone does everything
what
differently.
did the introduction do? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. It introduced the idea, the concept, what they're doing in the stream. All right, so explained it if you're going to be watching what's happening. 2, it introduced stakes. Stakes are an integral idea
steak.
into every stream. You need stakes in
Mac.
whatever you do. It just makes it better. Stakes can be very small. It doesn't have to be the amount of money. That's the stakes for this one. All right, so the idea is we're going to be eating expensive foods. The stakes are that every food will increase in price.
Another thing some streamers do is like, oh, if I don't do X, I'm gonna give X amount of subs. That's like a minor example, by the way, in case people maybe didn't grasp that concept.
And then it also says how this will end. How does this whole journey come to a close? Well, it comes to a close when we eat $100,000 ice cream. That is how it closes. So then the video, you can expect that they'll start eating foods, the stakes increase. All right, there's more and more and more and more expensive things. It ends when they eat that ice cream. That's the entire thing. You can do the same thing on Twitch, and we do it all the time here on this channel. For example, we just did unbanned form speedruns. Okay, introduce the idea. We're doing unbanned forms, but we're speedrunning it. Okay, that's the concept.
Shiro is a woman, by the way.
What are the stakes? Well, the stakes are we want a good time. We want to try to get world record. This costs no money, but those are the stakes, trying to get a good time. When do we get to the conclusion? when we beat the time and get the world record. Very simple, all right? And the meat and potatoes are me just doing the runs. Introduction says everything that's gonna happen. Conclusion is when I finally got the world record. Very easy, very straightforward. You don't necessarily need money, but you can create streams in segments that have all three of these aspects. And when you stream for YouTube, the beautiful thing about it is your stream is better, but also you get a YouTube video that is very easy to edit. You can just edit down because everything's built in, and you get to trim out all the fat until you have just this beautiful lean YouTube video that is the 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, of gold of the 30-minute hour recording. So it's just a win-win-win. There's no losing here. And don't get me wrong, it is still fine to go live and do regular streams. I actually had a problem when I first started streaming where I would only do segments. I was like, if it's not a segment, it does worse on viewership. There's no point. I just need to do segments. Well, you can do both. And I've learned that. That's something I had to learn, and I had to deal with things like numbers going down and viewership being bad, and that's something that takes a bit of time. That's like a personal journey. You just have to one day get over it. There's nothing I can tell you. You just have to one day get over it. But I've learned that I can do segments, plan out segments, and then do like just, I'll call it filler content. Think of XQC streams. Most of his content is like, it's not really formed around YouTube videos. It's mostly just filler content. And it's not bad. I'm not saying it's a bad way to stream. It's kind of fun in a way because he's always like thing to thing to thing. There's no dead air. It's like chess, bang, done chess, react, bang, react, done react, bang, we're playing Super Mario now, bang, done that, Valorant time. And none of these are really gonna be like really phenomenal YouTube videos. He streams like old streamers used to stream. I just don't think that'll work for people anymore because it's not 2013. The competition's too fierce. Your stream's probably not going to get found. You're probably not better than the good.
I feel like this is like, as someone who's a VTuber, like, and there are other VTubers in my chat right now. There are so many VTubers. It's to say that the genre is oversaturated would be an understatement. If there's like a new VTuber coming out like every other week, there's like not just one. There's like a couple. There's like maybe 10 new VTubers that come out every like week or so, and it's like, how do you make yourself stand out? You can't just grind and just, oh, I'm just gonna stream. I'm just gonna stream. I'm just gonna stream. I'm just gonna stream. What makes you stand out? What makes you different than all the other VTubers? Yeah, your design and stuff is different, sure, but your design can only take you so far. You need to do things that make you entertaining. And there's a lot of VTubers that are like, okay, I'm just gonna drop like $3,000 on a model, and I hope that's gonna carry me. I've like, yeah, they get a lot. They get a lot of views on their debut because that is a planned event. This is what he's talking about. This is a segment. This is a planned event. There's an introduction. You're like, oh, the build up on Twitter, the build up on all this social media, and then when that stream actually happens, you get the reveal. You do like the whole lore thing. Everyone's interested. And then the meat and potatoes is like the whole I'm Gura or whatever, and I go you know, like that kind of shit. That's your meat and potatoes, and then the conclusion, you end stream. That is. And that's one of the reasons why people get so much viewership on their first stream, on their debut, most of the time, and when they properly hype it up. And then afterwards, a lot of the time they just do regular like streaming content. They do the thing that everyone's used to, where everyone just, oh, I'm gonna stream this game and this game and this game X amount of times a week without any proper planned content, and then they wonder why the viewership drops, because like then you're just the same as everyone else, but with a different look. You know what I mean? Like, you just look different. You got a costume change and your voice is different than everyone else. Not trying to say all VTubers are the same, but this is maybe for VTubers that are wondering why they're not doing as well as they had hoped. Also, I never debuted. I just decided, hey, I'm gonna be a VTuber, you know? And I don't try to market myself. Like, yeah, I'm a VTuber, but I'm a streamer first and a VTuber second. I just happen to be a VTuber. That's not my main bread and butter. Like, oh, I'm a VTuber. This is what's gonna draw people in. No, and the VTubers need to break out of that mindset that they think just because they're in the VTuber community that they're gonna be successful or something. I'm not saying that's what every VTuber thinks, but I think a lot of people think this way. Did I stream before? No, like I started streaming in VR chat. And I guess I've technically been a VTuber since 2018 because I streamed with an avatar for a while. And then now the tech is there. The people have innovated and made stuff that makes VTubing a lot easier.
Gamers at games. Probably not funnier than the funniest people at being funny. And even if you are, you have to be not as funny as Moon Moon. You have to be funnier than Moon Moon to get found because people already know who Moon Moon is. So
yeah, good luck being as funny as Moon Moon. Holy shit.
Rather than stream like XQC streams, stream for YouTube. And you can do both, but just remember to include segments. Just promise me you will not do the grinding, hustling, 9 to 5, putting in my 8 hours. Because that is all bullshit and a waste of your fucking time. You are literally doing nothing. The 3 ways to grow. Okay, 3 ways to grow. We've talked a bit about the middle one. We're going to go on it a little more, but let's start with collabs. Collaboration is probably one of the best ways to grow. I am not dumb. I am not oblivious to the fact that I have used Corpse, Technoblade, Sykkuno, Pokimane, you name it, and it's helped me grow. I mean, that's just a fact. If you collaborate with people, it helps you grow. And it needs to be in somewhat of an authentic way. Obviously, if the content is worse when you work with someone, then it won't really go well together. But collabs just help. They really help. It's a thing. You can think as on the nose as when XJaws brought on Syndicate to his YouTube channel, and then Syndicate blew up into a larger YouTuber than XJaws.
I feel like, so with VTubers, and maybe I don't know if this really extends to content creators in general, but I noticed this a lot with VTubers. There's this whole like culture about collabing with people that it's like a thing that needs to happen. All these people, oh hey, you want to collab? You want to collab? You want to do this? You want to play Among Us sometime? You want to do this on stream sometime? And while that's all fine and dandy, I feel like it's sometimes a detriment if you collaborate with the wrong people. And what I mean is, sometimes people collab and the vibe's off. Sometimes you collab with people and you don't really mesh well personality-wise. And that collab turns into, oh my god, I don't like this stream. Why am I streaming right now? It's like I'm not having fun because I'm not enjoying this person. Sometimes you just don't mesh, and then it just gets awkward. And the thing is, viewers feed off of that. If someone's watching your stream and you're not having a good time, more often than not, the viewer's not having a good time. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna fucking leave. They're gonna go somewhere else where someone is having a good time, and so they're gonna have a good time. Yeah, there's always off-screen collabs. Like, I have halted. Like, I haven't really wanted to collab with people for a bit. And it's not because it's other people's fault. It's mainly because I want to work on myself and my own content. And I also want to maybe not... I don't know how to come off saying this without maybe coming off as a bit elitist. I want to be picky. In a way, I want to collab with more people. If I do collab with somebody that I know I'm going to actually vibe with, because it should be like, it's like a planned event. I want to have like my foundation built before collabs, and I want to know that the stream is going to do well because me and this other person vibe really well with each other. That's the thing. People put too much emphasis on collaboration, especially in the VTuber community, and think that collaborating with somebody is going to carry them and help them grow. It really depends. More often, yeah, it might help like a little bit. I don't like that one person typed in leech, because I don't know who popularized the mentality of leeching, but it's like not cool. Like, just because someone's doing something with somebody and they happen to maybe grow from it doesn't mean they're leeching. It's called networking. I mean, there are maybe some forms of actual leeching that exist. I've experienced it in VR chat, but more often than not, it's just collaboration. And people shouldn't be... If you're like a VTuber and you want to grow, maybe don't put too much emphasis on collabing with people. And if you are going to collab with somebody, make sure that you actually vibe with them first. Maybe do something with them off stream first, just to see. And if the vibe's not, then don't do it.
something that happened a few years ago. Or you can think of it as minute as an Among Us game where Yeti makes a brilliant play and everyone's like, who's this Yeti Apocalypse guy? Like, yes, you also have to be good. You also have to have a good bedrock of content. It's not as easy as just streaming with someone. Because I promise you, I've streamed with a bunch of people in Among Us who have 15 viewers when we started and have 15 viewers now. But if you have some sort of skill, some bedrock of content that people can absorb the moment they see you and you're exposed, then you're going to do well. Does that make sense? You need to have something there ready. So let's think of the Mr. Beast Challenge 1 video. Mr. Beast did a challenge. He shouted out the channel of a winner. The idea was get this person 1 million subscribers. And it was a contest where you get the winner of the contest 1 million subs.
Sorry, guys.
And the guy who won was Zealous. Zealous is at 2 million subs. And the only reason he's there is because he had content that, one, was quite similar to Mr. Beast's, already there as a bedrock. If Mr. Beast shouted out a channel that had never posted a video, they're not going to go anywhere. And look no further than every time a big streamer hosts a 20-viewer Andy. You host a 20-viewer Andy, they're not ready for it, they don't have the content for it. You look back a month later, still a 20-viewer Andy. I remember...
Yeah, and that's why some people think that getting rated by a big streamer is going to make their career. And more often than not, it's not going to. Yeah, I've been rated by big streamers before. I've been rated by like Lolathon and like Bunny. Bunny rated me for 1,400 viewers like a month or two, like a month and a half ago. Do you see me at like 200 viewers? No. Just because someone rates you doesn't mean that they're going to like your content. And frankly, I didn't have the foundation at the time. I was just doing cooking sim. You know? And this harkens back to that one email I got with some new debuting VTuber who has never streamed before, has no followers, has no build up to their debut, no build up to their Twitch channel or anything like that. They wanted to pay me for a raid. They wanted to pay me so that I would raid them for their debut. Naturally, I said no, but and I may have used the email for free Twitter content. That did pretty well. I got like 700 likes.
Maybe the number one question: what do you stream, Ludwig? Okay, good question. What do you stream? Sure. Okay, let's talk about it. I first and foremost think this question is probably talked about too much, because as long as you are doing everything in the streams like recordings section, then what you stream isn't as important. You know what I mean? Because you can really make anything work. There is one thing that I've done that will always work. It's tried and true. This is the number one thing you need to stream to make it big. The yoink and twist, baby. What everybody else is doing. That's right. Yes. Yes, you do not have to rewrite the entire playbook. We do.
This is something that I have to learn. This is something that I need to get through my head, that it is okay to do what other people are doing. As long as you're able to as long as you're able to be entertaining while doing it. As long as you add your own flair, your own flavor, your own spin to it, you don't gotta reinvent the wheel here. If what works, right? I guess it's like some people might view this as scummy or unoriginal. Like reacting to videos is unoriginal and lazy content, but what works, right? If people enjoy something, then there's nothing wrong with doing it, right?
And that brings us to our final slide. If you want to make it big on Twitch, you want to be a bigger streamer than me, you're just starting out, you simply have to be better. You have to be a better streamer than I am. You cannot even be as good as me. That will not be enough. Unfortunately, the rich get richer. Oof. The big channels get more viewers. I'm at the top of all categories I stream on. My YouTube videos get recommended more than you. So whatever you're doing, it cannot just be what I'm doing. You need...
That's intimidating.
Need to do it better than me if you hope to get bigger than me. That's the plain, simple truth. And it's not easy advice, and it's very hard to do, and it'll take years, but it is the actual fact of the matter.
He is right. There's, again, earlier in the video, 6.9 million streams, unique streams a month. You have to stand out to you have to stand out amongst all those people. You have to be better. And that's an intimidating thing. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen next month or next year. It could, but more often than not, it's not going to. You have to just try things and try things. And when something works, you keep doing that thing that works until it doesn't work anymore. And then you try something else that works. It's the life, like every moderately successful, it's a small to big channel goes through these periods of time, especially ones that make an effort in their content.
Final words I have for you, just start. If you don't start, you'll never get there. So you gotta start. Hopefully you wrote down that start date. Get to it. The moment that day hits, do not stall. Good luck.
I thought that was a very incredibly informative video, and frankly, I kind of wish this video came out maybe like a year ago. I think this is a fantastic video. What about you guys? What do you guys think? I think this video brings up a lot of points that a lot of streamers just don't take into account. There is no guidebook on how to stream. No one's gonna come into your chat. No one's gonna come into your life, more often than not, unless you get like a manager. No one's gonna come into your life and tell you how to stream or what to do more often than not. You have to figure this out.